Just smacked my fingers so hard in the corner.
Hello and welcome to Drakewind Falls. I'm your Drake Warden, James. I'll be here all night long with 4 of our beautiful players. This is twitch.tv/Known World United, where we stream every other Saturday with an ongoing D&D adventure set in the beautiful Drakewind Falls setting created on Microscope by Ben Robbins. So, ladies and gents, this is episode 9 of Whatever Happened to the Drake Wardens of Tomorrow. You can catch us, as I said, Saturdays at 7 p.m. We're a little late today, but we had things to take care of. We had food to eat, we had brains to be nourished, and we had birthdays to celebrate. Oh, Nate! We're inducting Nate into a very special club tonight, a club that you are infamously familiar with. Yes, that's true. It is the Low Rollers Club, baby. We got you a shirt, Nate. It didn't quite make it up to Dayton, but at a date to be named later, we will bring it up this week because
Excellent.
Nate, you are our emissary of Quan, and by Quan we mean rolling poorly.
It's true.
So
Nate, now we're gonna have to coordinate so we don't wear the same thing on the stream, and it's gonna be like a whole thing.
I mean, do we have to coordinate? Because I feel like you guys, you bring that.
The best thing is
energy
that there's always also one from her that says High Rollers Club official member on it. So someday, like, we're gonna get on wearing ours, and the 3 of you are gonna have the High Rollers one on. It's gonna be beautiful.
And I think it's pronounced Ambassador of Quan.
Quan.
Well, Ambassador of Quan.
Joel, do you have inspiration?
I do now.
There you go. Bingo.
Oh, I thought you were going to take it away from him.
We're starting off hot. And Nate, it's your birthday. Hey, it's Nate's birthday. You guys leveled last time. It's Nate's birthday. Everybody should start off with inspiration because I'm so inspired right now as the Drake Warden for this beautiful, beautiful adventure. So why don't everybody introduce themselves in a counterclockwise fashion as we're wont to do, starting with the one and only birthday boy, Horton Abernathy, a.k.a. The Ringer Nate.
I mean, you pretty much did it for me. I am Nate, your D&D ringer, playing Lil Owlin Wizard Horton Abernathy, the goodest boy.
And you can share. Everybody can share something that happened in episode 8 that happened to their character.
I counterspelled a level 9 spell.
You did.
So that was
so good.
bananas.
Unbelievable. That I mean, what you guys were 5th level starting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unreal, unheard of. Horton, such a powerful young wizard.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Warrior.
I'm Warrior. I'm at an unflattering angle right now in this Pacific Northwest hotel room. I play Highland, a very chill draconic bloodline Minotaur sorcerer. Last time on Drakewind Falls, I was kind of in the, I felt I had like Matt Hardy theme song vibes. I could slam a tornado. It was in there. I was more like protected by a tornado, but I feel like I could have slammed it if I was a more violent character.
I feel like odds are, yes, if not a Minotaur, you could have, well, no, I feel like you could have. Yeah. If you had that that mentality. I feel like
Yeah.
slamming
Easy.
That's the new I can lift that baby is I can slam.
Easy.
Probably.
Oh, rip.
Oh, go ahead.
I just lament. Akko's dead.
True.
That goes in heaven.
It doesn't sit well with me.
Well, yeah,
Doesn't sit
no, it sits with me. I also I have this. I went to like a candy store earlier today, and they had those old ass like licorice wheels.
Oh,
Nice.
And like the question I have about it is it like string cheese? Like, are you a monster if you just eat it?
Take a bite.
Like, if you just bite the wheel, are you a monster? Or, you know?
I mean,
It's fine.
I look at that. You're a minotaur, and that's a labyrinth. So, however you want to unroll that labyrinth, you've got that. Hey, we've got a whole new Mordenkainen's book, and that's up to you. Buddy.
Yeah. How about that new Minotaur lore drop? They were made by the Lady of Pain. No big deal. NBD.
No big deal.
Which I guess those mazes that she puts people in are famously well lit. So
It's true.
It's for you, buddy.
Thanks.
Christy.
I'm Christy. I am playing Fern Fandland, who is a half-elf sorcerer, storm cleric, and last time I made a tornado and it was cool.
You did make a tornado.
Did make a tornado. And it probably saved our asses for at least a couple of those rounds.
That's probably true. How's your buddy doing?
My buddy Nico, he's good.
Nico? Who's Nico?
Neil.
Neil.
Neil the dog. His arm.
Dog.
Also, I have to say hi to Bells on Bells and Bells, who's sitting behind me, and Super Spike. Howdy, whose arms are we ripping up tonight?
Too soon to tell.
Let us know in the comments.
I do love that Warrior checked and said, "Hey, Spike." I don't know. Ask Becker.
Chat's hot tonight already.
Too soon to tell.
Starting off, ripping off arms. Yeah, we still got those arms. We gotta deal with that. Speaking of,
I hope they're in your inventory.
you did. You put them in your inventory, didn't you?
I did. I absolutely.
Not, you absolutely should.
Yeah, no, they're in there.
I mean, they have cool armor on their arms.
You can create a custom item in D&D Beyond. There's no reason they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I'm Joel. I'm playing Becker Stokes, the human fighter cleric, skilled at disarming opponents. Last time there was a beautiful culmination of, after weeks upon weeks of seeing Horton find this crystal that bestows magical powers and wonderment, and Fern, a dragon and a crystal, and now she has a best friend, and the whole thing is wonderful. And then Highland gets this lovely crystal that ties to his ancestry. And then last time, in similar fashion, a crystal was shot into my fucking shoulder and began to eat me, or at
but
least
it's not your crystal, and that's the
raising the question, WTF, man? WTF. And then I ripped some arms off, which, kind of seems like
unrelated, but
yeah. If the rest of you were getting attacked by your crystal, maybe you'd be ripping arms off too.
No, probably not.
Well, probably not Horton.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Horton might be the only person who could not rip someone's arms off. I feel like Fern, with some work. Well, I don't know. You counterspelled a 9th level spell, so
I'm sure there's a spell for that.
And the disarming was to make sure she couldn't cast it again. Because there was a lot of this involved.
There was
true.
a lot of that involved.
Can't do that now.
So you also counterspell.
Huey is like hanging out with this squirrel thing, and then like he plays with it for a while, and he keeps coming back to me and like bringing it to me. Like, okay, now what? Squeak, squeak. There you go, homie. Anyway, so we ended episode 8 of Whatever Happened to the Wardens of Tomorrow with the Dragoon infiltrating the falls. You guys had another run-in with them. These are the same fools that were messing with you when you met up with Deej Tanner and Kimmy in the caves. You recognize the same magical darkness that you encountered, and as quickly as they infiltrated, though not into the academy, never breaching the walls, they stopped short. They dissipated with the magical darkness after a whole lot of really fantastic work from the 4 of you, especially Fern with her I don't know what you would call that, your storm magic.
Storm magic.
I was going to call it a
My
meat
warding
tornado.
wind.
Your warding wind.
Wind.
Yes, you warded them away.
I mean,
And yes,
I warded us with the wind, I think, is more.
it was not an offensive, it was defense. The best offense is a good defense. That's what Peyton Manning said. Anyway, also Becker, as we mentioned, received his crystal and a let's say a curious or very happy. Yeah. I love that at the beginning of last session you were like, I'll be happy if I never get a crystal, and I was like, bro, you already got shot with one. But so you guys all have your crystals. The Dragoon, as I said at the climax of episode 8, dissipated magical darkness, all disappeared.
Get it, Huey!
You can guess that Huey is here sitting patiently next to me getting scratches, and Ruby has absconded with his. Excuse me, Ruby, can you come here?
Highlander is playing with Neil.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, yeah. Highlands is playing with me. Hi, yes. Oh, that's very sweet. Okay, and it's mine now. It belongs to me. Okay, we're back. Okay. Oh, who just rolled? And what did you roll for? And please tell me. I heard clickety clacks. Who just clickety clacked?
I was typing.
Okay.
I don't have actual dice.
Oh, you're a virtual boy. Fancy flatulence. You know it. The warding wins, aka fancy flatulence. All right, so you guys were just embroiled in battle with the Dragoon, who have since, like, as the magical darkness faded away, so did the rest of the Dragoon, and we are back to kind of square one outside of the academy. The academy has been, they've gone kind of locked down. You see that there are Professors Pete and Professor Lanny are all out, and they've kind of rushed out to see what's going on. The 4 of you are just kind of there. Fern's warding wind has died down, and they kind of check to make sure everybody's okay, and that's where we will join in here in episode 9 of Whatever Happened to the Wardens of Tomorrow. And let's see. What are you guys up to? What do you want to do? Are you checking to see what's going on? Christy, you have dissipated. The warding wind was exhausted by the time the Dragoon left, correct?
I would imagine it does not last super duper long time.
No. I think is it 1 minute?
Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you could have maintained. I mean,
but I think we dropped it so we could fight.
That's true. Yeah. So you dropped that.
So yeah.
Oh. The other thing that we should take care of before we get diving too far in, you guys all leveled up to 6th level. Is there anything that's new for your characters that people that are watching should know about? We'll start with Horton. Any new Owlin jams?
There is a new wizard thing for my Awakened spellbook.
Cool.
Let's see. Where'd it go?
I do love when we like level up because this is just like, and the bad guys are all gone. And what's that new thing that you learned in the last 5 minutes? But you all deserve to level, and we haven't leveled yet. So for everybody that's watching, that was the first leveling we've done because I think we all started at 5th level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because starting at level
let's
1 is for wieners.
It's the worst. All right, so I can manifest the mind of my Awakened spellbook, which basically lets me do fancy things. I can cast spells from the Spectral Mind and kind of send it all over the place.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Highland, anything new in the Minotaur neighborhood? And have you added all the new Mordenkainen stuff?
There's no actual change to. We know there's one more ability. I think it does it automatically, but
okay,
I'll have to double check.
Okay.
Yeah, Highland is now due to his draconic ancestry. Highland is now can now add his charisma bonus to any spell that deals fire damage.
Oh,
and if he casts a fire spell, he can spend a sorcery point to become resistant to fire.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever played a draconic sorcerer. That's awesome.
Yeah, me neither. It's dope.
Awesome. Fern, what do you got going on?
Well, Fern is multi-class, so she didn't get anything like particularly jazzy at 4th, but she did get an ability score improvement.
What is your 4-2 just for everybody at home?
I am 4 sorcerer, 2 tempest cleric.
Oh, ooh.
So,
awesome.
I didn't get anything cool because all of my cool shit happens at 6th level. So
yeah,
it's the price you pay for multi-classing.
Yeah, you just have to be jazzy twice. Becker,
True.
Joel, what do you got? Anything?
Similar to Fern, I'm multi-classing. So before I was level 3 fighter, level 2 cleric. Now I'm level 3 fighter, level 3 cleric.
Ooh, you didn't get anything?
A couple new spells.
Okay.
That's it. Just a couple new spells.
What did you take? Are you at liberty to share?
Well, I approached it in the sense of since they come from God, Becker would be praying for a way to fight the darkness. And how do we find our way to things? Because that seems to be coming up and we don't really know. So continual flame, because his god is kind of a dick and gave him a spell that doesn't do anything in magical darkness. And then guiding hand.
Oh, guiding hand's awesome.
Yep. And then sanctuary.
Oh.
Sanctuary.
That's my favorite Disney movie of all time. Did you know that?
Is it?
Fun facts, yeah. Hunchback is beautiful.
I mean, that movie is not for children at multiple points.
No, it's not for children, but it has the most fucking bangers on the soundtrack of any Disney soundtrack, and I will fight you. Anyway, okay. 6th level.
I think Elton John will fight you.
Okay, listen. Hiring Elton John and Bernie Taupin is not creating a soundtrack, okay? That's just fucking farming it out, okay? No. That was like when they were like, hey, Tarzan, Phil Collins, yeah, come in and write all the fucking songs. No, that's not a soundtrack. That's called hiring scabs. Scabs. Can you feel the love tonight, Christy? No, you can't because scabs. Scabs.
No.
Happy birthday, Nate, by the way.
Heart's been scabbed over.
No need to give me soundtrack.
I took a look at it. They didn't update the character sheets yet, but Highland can now always know which direction is north. And cool. He has advantage on any survival checks to track or locate.
Dude,
to navigate or yeah.
I kind of love that with like Bekugul being like the northernmost of the continent and like that being where Highland's from. That
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's just further proof that they were mining Tasty Boys for content.
Yeah,
Cletus
and
was
Homeward Bound.
Cletus was a bad master.
Yeah, Cletus.
Now,
Highland is the shadow of this group.
does that only work in a labyrinth?
No, it's anywhere. We've
Anywhere.
evolved since being.
But isn't there like a labyrinthic knowledge? Like you can remember where you've been in a labyrinth. Is that like one of the new things?
I mean, we can go with that.
I thought that you said that when we were in chat. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it's not written down, but I mean, I'll take it. Sure. Yeah.
Why not? I'll brew up something with a labyrinth just for you, buddy.
Have I been here before? These secret is they're all the same. You've been to one labyrinth, you've been to one.
Every labyrinth. You've been to one labyrinth, you've been to them all.
Mm-hmm. It's like when folks went down to the hardware store, bought the same plans for the same house, or that same house. Go to your neighbor's house, it's the same house.
Levittown all over again. Sons of bitches. Okay, so please excuse the aside, but yeah, first leveling of Drakewind Falls, which we'll talk about behind the falls, but so the magical darkness is dissipated. Professor Pete Kitchu is out there, as is Professor Lanny. Oh yeah, Horton. Lots of magical darkness. Ooh, villains about. Didn't come in. No, we got all the students to safety. What's going on here?
Oh, I'm not really sure. There's someone I think they tried to turn into something, but I stopped them.
Yeah, little Horton making Virginia proud. Grandma's gonna be so happy with you.
I hope so.
Forget all about that tardiness.
Shh! Don't tell.
Oh no, never tell. Never tell. Virginia doesn't need to know. You and me, buddy. Cream of the crop. Rise to the top. Yep.
Highland, prestidigitation, you create a small trinket. So Highland prestidigitates a permission slip for Horton. Hands it to Lanny. So sorry, we were in a hurry with all the magical darkness and whatnot. Actually, I think I lost track of it in the darkness because Minotaurs famously cannot see in the dark. But I meant to give this.
Cannon. Yeah, Professor Peak has been looking into that years and years. You think they'd be able to see in the darkness? Nope. Can't do it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. I like the darkness. Like I feel like that would be really hard life. Like you want to get sleepy. You're trying to lie down. You're in bed. If your eyes are open, you're like, oh man, it's not even dark in here.
No. Yeah.
It's got to be a rough life, honestly. I think so. I'm glad I can sleep soundly at night, unlike those with dark vision.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you take good care of Horton. I see that everything's in order. Yeah. Horton, check back with me for homework, but these good people are taking you out of here. This permission slip says they can take. What is this? Yeah.
It says Horton can go whenever, wherever in perpetuity. Signed, a guardian.
Yeah. The hips don't lie, Highland. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Whenever, wherever.
Yeah. All right. You have a good day, Horton.
Make sure you too, thanks.
Vector's going to wave goodbye with one of his new extra arms.
That's beautiful.
Professor Pete kind of like looks at you like a little bit disturbed, but then the Litzards come like scuttling back in after hiding from the magical darkness, and you see that the tail of his cloak is on fire again. And hey, Shaggy,
having a day.
Oh, hey, Mitch, what's going on? The Coup Live crew, we've renamed Shaggy and Mitch and Spike because they hang out with King and I, not on Dave's stream, and we just always joke about a coup to overturn them. So they're Coup Live crew. So Coup Live crew, thank you for
I like it.
the cup is too big for that voice. Well, Professor Lanny is infamously part of the I don't know, the Pafo dynasty. So I'm having a little tea. So you know me.
Becker is gonna check both arms and hands for rings, items, whatnot.
All right. Why don't you roll me percentages, Joel? That's awesome. Yeah, let's see. Let's get you something.
94.
Oh. That's really good. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, no, I don't know. Thank you. No, okay, don't show that again. Okay, so you find a ring that's made of white gold and is set with polished onyx. If you want to, or if anybody can make me an identify identify object.
As it
I
so
can
happens,
just
I
cast
can do that.
You can do that. All right. Yes, please do.
I'll
Do
do
it.
it as a ritual.
Yep. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So tell me what you do. What do you do kind of to cast this ritual? Are you kind of concentrating it on it? Do you kind of pray to your god? What does Becker do to cast it?
It's a concentrate with prayer.
Okay.
Oh great, Anatar, mostly you jackass. You know you can save me a lot of trouble if you just tell me what the hell this is. Your servant,
Beautiful.
Becker.
Okay, so you check it out. It is a ring of the Dark Knight. So while wearing it, you have advantage on any dexterity or stealth checks made in dim light or darkness. The ring has 3 charges, and it regains all expended charges daily at dawn.
And you
oh, go ahead.
you have to talk with a gravelly voice.
You have to talk like this. You can expend 1 charge as an action to cast darkness. I will put it in the private chat here.
Okay.
And okay, so I do like when something goes in the private chat and then it goes in the public chat. Like somebody makes a joke that's like good enough to. Oh, where are you going?
Well, I'm leaving, but I don't want to bother you.
Go out the back.
I'll just walk in.
Oh.
Love you.
You too. Like her car's in the back. She goes out the front door. I was like, you just go out the back door. I don't want to bother you. Okay. I do like when Joel and Highland make jokes and they're like, all right, that's good enough for the main chat. It's only war crimes if you get caught. That's a true story, Shaggy. Hasn't got caught yet. Okay, so you would think it regains charges of dust. Well, you know, it doesn't. I'm sorry, Mitch. We could do it that way. Let's do that. It's going to regain all expended charges daily at dusk.
Okay.
It does require attunement. And it is a rare item. So if you want to keep it, great. If you don't, also great. And you find just one of these on the Dragoon.
Okay. I'm gonna put it on.
Okay.
It seems handy given that we keep getting attacked with darkness.
Not wrong.
I'm also going to strip the armor off the arms.
Okay.
And just throw that in my pack in case I need metal for I don't know, whatever project.
Okay. Roll me a history check, Joel.
History check. 13.
Okay, so you know that sometimes dragons collect their cast-off scales and gift them to humanoids. Dragon scale mail sometimes is also obtained by hunters that basically find kind of deceased dragons or hunt them and preserve the hide Either way, dragon scale mail is incredibly highly valued, and you know that in Drakewind Falls, it's taboo to wear the scales of a dragon due to the relationship between drakes and the humanoids that lived here and outside of the falls. You know that dragon scale mail will gift the owner kind of very specific resistances based on the dragon type that this is. Typically, a full set of scale mail is going to give you a bonus to your AC, as well as an advantage on saving throws to kind of draconic weapons, so Frightful Presence or other kind of draconic weapons, other kind of scale or breath weapons, things like that. And it's all determined based on the kind of type of dragon you have. These also typically a full set of dragon scale mail allows you to essentially do something. It basically will give you an intuition to direct you to other dragons. So it's a bit of a kind of dowsing rod, as it were.
Does Neil have that ability? Just like him being a dragon?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Neil's a dog.
Okay, Nico, when he's not a dog.
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
I will ask him that question.
Okay. Roll me percentages, Christy.
Percentages?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh man. Don't have those out.
You can do it in advantage.
Ooh.
And Joel, if you could roll me a D10, that would be great.
Look at my percentage dice. There they are.
Oh,
77.
Okay. And
Either way, because I got 2 7.
Becker, what did you roll?
Give me just a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Advantage is not as exciting if you roll the same number twice.
7.
But at least it was a high number.
Okay, so Becker, the armor that you have is all of the armor that the Dragoon are wearing are almost. It looks like when you like dry brush like paint, like black over anything, but it is a dark emerald, and so if you kind of study this and kind of meditate on this, you can recognize that this is the same kind of green poison as it is. So this scale mail itself, this the kind of the armorers that you have are resistant to poison damage. Fern, when you talk to Neil, Neil does his best kind of like weird bark, but also kind of sounds like a drake roaring a little bit. And
he's a weird breed.
Can everybody tell me how they're holding their crystals? Horton has his in his case, but Becker, Fern, Highland, how are you?
I have a pendant.
Okay, Highland, how are you holding yours?
Highland's is in his mug.
Oh yeah, forgot. And Becker, now that yours isn't in your shoulder,
it is in a side pouch.
Okay,
that's all like closed up and sealed up.
So, Fern, Neil kind of comes over and like sniffs at your pendant a little bit, and then like reaches up real gingerly, like when you tell a dog to be gentle, and kind of like tugs on it until it like pulls like the clasp on the back, like pops open.
Neil, what you're doing?
And he like kind of shakes it and like pops it up in the air, and you see it kind of like go up, and it stops, and it comes down, and it starts turning.
Oh.
Very, very slowly. And when you do that, Horton, you feel your your crystal starting to like pull at your harness. Highland, you look down in your cup and yours is spinning around as well. Becker, you feel the same kind of pull from your side pouch as this starts to come out, and you kind of reach up, and when you hold it in your hand, just like when you pulled it out, it's slowly turning, and you see all four of these kind of turning in unison, and they start to slow down, and they all point in the same direction, northwest of the falls. And then they hold there, and you see each of them start to glow with their given color and start to pulsate a bit.
Is northwest the same direction that the Drakewind Maw would be?
No. I believe the Maw is just southeast of, or directly south of the falls.
Oh. Well, now I don't know which way to go.
So wait, say that again. Which direction are
Northwest.
things pointing?
Northwest of the falls. Yeah.
All of ours are pointing northwest of the falls.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who remembers what's northwest of the falls?
I don't know if we've ever been northwest of it.
No, but like we created this world, so we probably put something there.
I rolled a 21 for history.
Oh,
You put a lot of things there. Okay. Horton, you have been studying up generally on the geography. You know that areas that are north of the falls, at the top of the continent, there's Bekugul, which is the kingdom that has been settled by the Nereids, which are kind of water elves, the Minotaur, as well as Dragonborn. That's where Highland hails from. Other areas to the north include the kind of additional settlements as the Wing Whisper Mountains kind of stretch north and kind of into the frozen flats that lead to the Bekugul. And then west of Drakewind Falls, we have Harrison's Fjord, all the way out as we head to the western wastes, which curl up from the kind of southwest, kind of just to the south of the fjord. And then the Kingdom of Burgundy, which stretches in the kind of northwest of the continent, just south of Bekugul, which kind of is umbrella shaped and over the kind of top part of the continent. Northwest of the falls equals Branson, Missouri. Home throw roll.
I don't know. I feel a little confused now. Our crystal, right before all this happened, it told me we should go toward Drakewind Maw, but now it's saying we should go north. I don't know which moment of my crystal to trust.
I will thank Nico for his help and give him some sweet, sweet scritches.
It's a very talented dog. Good job, Neil.
He's very confused. I'm having an identity crisis. Silver Dollar City, baby.
So all our crystals are pointing in that same direction now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Feels like that's the direction we should go then.
Makes sense.
Well, Highland, can you tell us a little bit more for folks that maybe didn't see that episode, a little bit about why you think the Maw is a potential destination?
Yeah. So Highland has the ability, utilizing his crystal, to ask the crystal a question once a day and receive an answer. He had asked where they should go. Once they had assembled as a group, we got to get out of here. Where should we go? And it gave him a vision of Drakewind Maw.
It's true.
Which is also not to say that we're not supposed to go to both of those places and maybe in a different order.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say I write a lot of stuff for this campaign.
I had a feeling that might be it, James.
Pulling back the
A
DM
little
screen.
feeling. Just tipping it over. Blowing it over with Warding Wind.
Warding Wind. No, the Warding Wind was defensive, not offense.
That's true.
It was pulling it up in front of us.
How far away is Drakewind Mall from here? Roughly.
Yeah, maybe just which one's closer, and that's
Like, is it similar to when we went and met Deej? That wasn't like a huge journey.
No, that wasn't too far. So things. Well, everybody can roll. Everybody who's proficient in history can roll me a bit about Drakewind Maw.
I'm very much not proficient in history. Which direction is Drakewind Maw from where we're at?
Drakewind Maw is south of where you are at.
Like directly south?
I believe it's southeast.
Okay.
All right, so I'm super proficient. I got 24.
All right, so you know that Horton, again, right? You don't want to prove your grandmother wrong or right, depending on how she's looking at it. So you've studied the history of the falls and surrounding areas incredibly detailed. So you know that the Maw used to be known as Drakewind Hearth, and Drakewind Hearth was a settlement that stretches back to the very kind of earliest parts of the falls, back to kind of very shortly after the founding, and there are a number of people, citizens of the falls, that emigrated out of the falls and established a new home collective in a network of volcanic caves that were known as Drakewind Hearth. They lived there peacefully for a very long time. Most of them left the falls due to the kind of heavy-fisted reign of Arrakis Bolsafostros, who was kind of in charge at the time. Some of the individuals that were part of the Talon and the Scale were not welcome back into the falls, and so they resettled outside of the falls. And unknown to these operatives that inhabit the quarters of the Hearth, these tunnels kind of eventually lead out to a forest, to a place of great magic and power that's deep in the wood. And this is actually where the first settlers of that part of the Mercive Wood emigrate into the falls. So directly adjacent to the Hearth is the Gleaming Glen, and that is where the predecessors of Fern's family and the Kalashtar first kind of made contact with the falls. In the kind of era that is about 300 years before play, there was a black dragon, Scylla, that decimated the Hearth. Many died, some fled, and although their kind of reasoning for going there and kind of escaping the falls was really strong, the Hearth basically became this diaspora that spread out across the continent. The cave network itself was eventually inhabited by a clan of hobgoblins, and the survivors, kind of all spread out kind of through the continent, kind of out to the east, into the eastern ridges, and throughout Harrison's Fjord, out to and into even emigrating to the Dragon's Tail, and kind of spread the kind of the tale of ruin through the land, and the Dragon's Hearth eventually became known as the Dragon's Maw. some of the people that lived in the Hearth tried to repatriate to the Falls. And there were a number of families that were cast out, that weren't let back into the Falls. And this is one of the major kind of seeds of discord in the Falls, leading up to a lot of the kind of major changes that happened in the Falls prior to the revelation. And so throughout the course of the last 200 years in the Falls, the heads of the 5 families, the kind of original kind of 5 families that each were responsible for the kind of Drake bond, they kind of reasserted themselves, and this was the beginning of the Council of 12. And so they kind of each took a lead in the factions that exist within the Falls. So the face, the scale, the talon, the tongue, and they established a 5th kind of house, the breath. And the breath was tasked with identifying the next generation of Drakewind Rangers. And so the breath is actually the kind of party responsible for identifying kind of young individuals within the Falls to train to be Drake Wardens. So Deej and all of the other Drake Wardens, Tanthalis and even Lady Fandlin very early on, being a Kalashtar who have kind of a longer life than humanoids, they all went through this kind of training as being the next generation of Drakewind Wardens, to kind of steward these 5 elemental drakes and the Drake bond that goes along with them, and keep the embers of the beacon lit from year to year. And the Council of 12 came about in honor of kind of returning to the roots of the Falls and honoring the 12 days of Christmas. So the Council of 12 represents leaders from different cultures and different races that have come to settle in the Falls. And the leaders of these factions that I mentioned are drawn from these original family lines, as well as those from the Hearth, from the Gleaming Glen, and some of the kind of repatriated families that kind of came back in and really shifted the tides of powers from some of the kind of talon, the scale, these more kind of offensive, defensive, very kind of a bit jingoistic factions within the Falls to rely on some of these kind of founding principles of the Falls, thinking about education, thinking about protection, thinking about stewardship as kind of the means to kind of keep the Falls safe. And a lot of this was in response to the barony of Burgundy, actually, that had the fatwa against drakes, and was very much against the kind of way of life that was rumored with these kind of hidden falls where drakes were protected and lived in harmony with these different races. And so the Maw eventually they eventually kind of fell into this kind of goblinoid presence. Yeah, so that's kind of where the kind of the Maw kind of developed. And now that some of the ogres that live there, goblinoids, they didn't kind of stay in the Maw. They kind of went out into the world, and as recently as probably 25 years ago, have attacked a number of settlements, including Bordig Stonefru, which is where the kind of Undercity and a lot of the kind of individuals that gathered around the forge that was there, they were driven out or killed by these goblinoids and the ogres. So a lot going on. And Horton, as someone who is very much trying not to disappoint your dear grandmother, you can recount this for Becker and Highland and Fern, kind of sharing the story of the hearth that kind of devolved into the maw, but how the kind of repatriation and that conversation about who should be repatriated and who shouldn't really became a wake-up call for the Falls prior to the revelation, even, to be more inclusive and return to this kind of strangers from a strange land ethos, that people should be welcome and be a part of the Falls, and that part of the relationship between the people of the Falls and the Drakes, which kind of propagated this kind of magical place outside of the world, was because they were accepted by the Drakes when they came here, and that bond is really a sacred thing to people that live in the Falls. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the kind of aberration of wearing dragon scale armor and anything that would be covetous of that kind of special relationship is something that's very much looked down on, and those any sort of kind of draconic relic is looked upon with great reverence. And so for people to use dragon hide as an armor is near sacrilege for people that are really kind of part of the history of the Falls. So
then, as Horton finishes that little mini lecture that he just gave,
sorry.
No, you're good.
There's so much good. You guys, so much amazing and beautiful pieces. It's hard to not use it. I'll put the thing. Microscope was such a revelation, and I loved how much you guys have put into this world. So,
well, I'm thrilled that Horton's going to tell us about this, because I rolled a 22 for history, but there's no way Becker would know any of that.
Becker's like, I like dragons. Dragons are good.
So Horton tells everyone that, and then he says, "So yeah, that's why I think we should go down south to Drakewind Hearth or Drakewind Maw, whatever you want to call it. Northwest, there's way far super north. There's great places, but Burgundy's also kind of in that direction. They're not great."
Oh, yeah. Burgundy's not my color. My robe was burgundy for a little while. It was more an affordability thing, and it just didn't work with my fur tone, being honest. Besides, maybe that's where maybe it told me there, because maybe that's where Becker will finally get his crystal, right? That'd be pretty cool.
It's possible. Yeah, I had this weird dream of like not the last moments of the last Wardens, but they were in the cave fighting someone, a figure I couldn't quite see, and then Lady Vandalin was there too, I think.
Yeah, that tracks. I remember learning about that. But well, maybe that makes sense then. Maybe that's where some of the crystals ended up.
It's worth a look.
Yeah. Right. That's two for the Maw, none for ambiguous destination Northwest.
Now, are all of our crystals kind of spinning around in a circle, or just kind of in front of us, or?
They're in front of you. So yours, Horton, like as you feel it pulling, when you hold it out on your wingtip, it rotates around and then slowly slows the same as the other.
So it's like a compass needle.
Yeah.
Oh, so I rolled perception. I may as well just get a natural 20 on that when I'm trying to notice that Becker has a crystal too.
So, Horton, you've been paying attention to that, and you recognize that Becker has been looking at his crystal, but Becker also kind of looks a bit far away. Becker, as you're staring at your crystal, you have a flashback of being very young, and there being just chaos all around you. You see that a kind of figure picks you up after kind of running back through this chaos. It's a figure that you don't remember well, but you feel like you might have known. And you see yourself kind of being carried through the streets as people are being slaughtered left and right. There's bugbears and goblins and ogres everywhere, and you just see chaos reigning. You kind of feel yourself kind of pass through a kind of enormous, large enclosure, deep, not kind of passing through like a city wall, but kind of deep into kind of a thick kind of passageway. And as you kind of move through it, you see this large portcullis like slowly closing behind you, as you can feel yourself very young, just crying, completely startled by this. And you kind of see that kind of closing down and kind of everything going dark, and that's kind of the end of your memory. And as you kind of come out of that, you see Horton kind of like twisting his head, kind of looking at you as the kind of crystal is kind of slowly spinning to a stop, and then pointing to the northwest. And like, you've been there, you've heard everything, but you were very much kind of enveloped in kind of this two worlds. You had this kind of narrative that was very strange to the experience you were having, kind of not lining up very well, but you kind of recognize in this kind of moment, as you kind of pass out of both the kind of auditory and visual kind of cacophony, that you've experienced kind of two very different stories, the kind of history of a place kind of unbeknownst to you, and then an experience that is very kind of intimate, but still quite strange to your kind of consciousness of kind of your experience of your own youth.
So these things suck for all of you?
What do you mean? Hey, you got a crystal.
I mean, this thing just seems...
Hey, you got a crystal. I love it. Yes. Highland, if you don't have inspiration, you can take inspiration.
I mean, it seems pretty horrible so far.
Oh, no, mine's been pretty cool, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't always like extra responsibility on my shoulders, but otherwise it's pretty
I mean, has it attacked any of you?
Mine shocks me sometimes. A little bit.
No. I just kind of chills out in my mug.
Huh.
Yeah.
So far, it's attacked me and showed me like the worst day of my life.
Okay.
Your crystal does not seem fun.
Yeah.
Maybe it's defective.
Cool.
Can you return it? Can you just stab it back into whoever stabbed you? Return to sender.
We'll see if the moment arises.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, it seems like there's there's some deeper meaning to these things than I ever thought there'd be. So, maybe the reason that it's pissing you off so much will come clear after a while.
For now, I think it's best off back in this pouch. He's just going to put it back in and tie everything down even tighter so it can snug.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Drakewind Maw then, everybody? Party train down. End of the Maw.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lead the way.
All right. I will.
Okay. Is there anything that you guys need to collect before you go? Or are you heading out?
Highland does not have adventuring gear per se. So he pretty much has everything on him at all times. He just refilled his pocket toast this morning. So he is pretty good to go.
You say Becker is pretty transient, so I carry everything wherever I go because I don't know where I'm going to crash.
Excellent.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Nope, just dogs. Just dogs named Neil.
Just dogs named Neil.
Definitely not a Drake.
Definitely not Drake.
Oh,
Clearly.
he's just a big old pupper.
Yeah.
Happens to know what these crystals do. It's fine.
I mean, if it was a Drake, there's no way it would be named Neil.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You're not wrong.
That's what I thought.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. As we start to make our way out, I'm going to discard the now bear arms.
Okay.
Wait, you cast a spell?
Hmm?
They're now bear arms?
No, I took the armor off.
I know.
Now they're just part of the Constitution.
We can,
Oh, we should have just given Neil one to carry around.
we
Like a
can-
big old stick.
Actually, just would Neil eat them?
He might. I don't know.
we,
Well, it's a treat.
I mean, if we want to stock up, we can pass by the cafeteria on the way out.
Yeah, we might want to go see how
We just go load up.
Ferdinand is doing.
I mean, Horton and I can load up easy.
I mean, we
Yeah.
might
They've
want to
come
go
to
check on Ferdinand and
Horton-
Ferdinand.
Horton's a whole ass student, and they just expect it from me by now. So
A whole ass student.
I'm always prepared, but I can help you guys out. And I assume since I got a message from grandmother that she'll take care of telling my parents what's going on.
Maybe.
She's just like, I don't know where he went. It's fine.
He's fine. It's cool. All right. So you guys can set out. Yeah. Let's head to the mall, baby. All right. So the mall itself is located kind of southeast along the Wing Whisper Mountains. The Wing Whisper Mountains move from the kind of northwest down to the northeast on a kind of gentle slope, about kind of 10 degrees off center. They are paralleled to the east by the Eastern Mountains, which is also known as the Dragon's Spine. The Mercive Wood is kind of directly south with Bonders Pass and Palmer's Creek out to the kind of west as it slowly kind of devolves into the fjord. But yeah, you can head out, and actually, as you move through the Mercive Wood, you recognize. Actually, Fern, make me a history check.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a 3.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, Mercive Wood. Heard all about it. Great. Super
Neat.
duper. Oh, guys, this is my favorite woods of all time. So
I
nice.
believe it has trees.
Oh man. Oh boy.
I mean, somebody else who's not me could see if they know anything about the wood.
Oh, can I?
I mean, they could. Do you want me to roll?
If you'd like to.
16.
Sorry. I don't know if you heard that, but he was just like, "Oh, beautiful." So Horton. I love the idea that fuck that trees. Man, we have the chat is hopping tonight. I do like the. Are you gonna have any drakes in your Drakewind Falls? That's bear or bear. Yes.
Why not both?
I've watched this goodest dog. Yeah. Hey, delicious Dragoon doggo treats. Here, Odin treats. Direct from the consortium. Oh yeah. Ruby's like, fuck yeah, we'll have some of those. Yeah, Huey's here too. Yeah. You can check these out. at Odin.snacks on Instagram, or follow Odin, who is a good boy, at Odin the Dumpster Goblin on Instagram.
Is Odin like a French bulldog?
No, Odin is a I don't know. He is. I want to say that he is.
He's a dumpster goblin, obviously.
Yeah, he's a dumpster goblin. Yeah, Spike, Shaggy, Mitch. Throw your dog at. I don't know what that means, Mitch. But yeah, no, he's one of Dave's followers. He and his wife make treats, and Odin is their dog. I want to say he's like a German Shepherd Pointer mix. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, 10 degrees exactly. No more than one less. 1 degree off, you can have a bad time. It's a true story. True story. But yeah, so you head into the Mercy of Wood. Horton, you are recalling kind of everything that you know of the Mercy of Wood. And the Mercy of Wood, you know, has a number of caretakers. The Mercy of Wood itself has a kind of long and storied history. It's one of the areas that the High King William and his community of followers and family and confidants passed through before they reached the falls. They passed through the Dragon's Tail, kind of seaside of the Western Fjord, and they followed the kind of melody on the wind into the Mercy of Wood, and then kind of up into the falls. And the song that whispers in the wind through the leaves of the trees in the Mercy of Wood is said to be the kind of melody that led them to the falls, and it was carried on the leaves of the wood. The wood itself is kind of super expansive forest. It stretches all the way from Bonders Pass and Palmer's Creek at the base of the falls. And there is a druid that is said to have been of immense power that is rumored to have awakened trees, as well as some of the bears of the wood, now known as the Cairn Bears. And that these awoken trees were to act as guardians of the forest against those who attempt to conceal themselves and kind of steal their way into the falls. So some of the individuals that were a bit shady or shifty trying to sell passes into the falls were oftentimes guarded upon coming in by these kind of woodland guardians. Also under the kind of protection of the great druid of the Mercy of Woods, as you're passing through, you see a number of moon marmots. These are
Moon marmot!
Inhabitants of the Montane Meadows, where basically the wood meets the foothills of the Wing Whisper Mountains, but they oftentimes kind of find their way into the woods, and they are so named. I just love Horton kind of like waxing about all this, and they're named because on the night of a full moon, if you're able to ply one of these creatures to get close enough, you can whisper a secret, and they love good secrets, and they'll weigh them and bestow upon you a spell that they deem equal in value. The juicier the secret, the more potent the smell. But these creatures that live there also are kind of living underneath kind of 4 distinct districts within the wood. They are kind of made through the kind of domains of 4 Eladrin that inhabit the wood, and they help to kind of guard as well as create safe passage through the wood, and very rarely are they seen as they pass through. But you know that in addition to the moon marmots and some of the kind of awakened bears and the awakened trees, the kind of Eladrin kind of watch over everything. And Professor Lanny has talked a lot about this. Horton with kind of having him over to when he got hired over to your mother and father's place with your grandmother Virginia. And he's talked about the awoken bears. He's talking about Poffles. The bears themselves, the awakened bears, were actually granted their sleep by one of the Eladrin. That they had kind of shouldered their load, and that one of the Eladrin kind of bestowed upon them the kind of opportunity to rest. And only recently, in the last 50 years, have these bears kind of not only kind of awoken from their rest, but have kind of emerged from the kind of days of sleeping as their kind of keen intellects that were very kind of present prior to their long rest are kind of reawakened. And you've seen 3 of them in town giving their Karen Bear stare.
So I assume we're not being stopped by any awakened trees because we're not
yet
baddies.
Is it a full moon?
It's not yet evening, but the sun is going down, so you may see a moon marmot or 2.
Get your secrets ready.
Roll me a nature check. Everybody can roll me a nature check. Oh, and Super Spike says Odin is a husky, and he was a dumpster. Oh, that's why he's a dumpster goblin.
Makes sense.
A big old 4 for Joel.
9.
14.
Highland.
10.
Oh man. No moon marmots. You see some creatures scuttling around, but you can't tell whether they are marmots or lizards. But
what a fatal mistake to make.
yeah. Oh God, no doubt.
You whisper a secret, they just light your face on fire. It's bad news.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. That wasn't a good secret.
Oh my God. So yeah, you guys enough. Thank you. Come here. More Odin snacks. Odin snacks. They're the snacks that make your dog shut the F up.
Mostly you stole their squirrel, and that's what they're mad about.
Are you upset about that? Well, it wouldn't be bad if Huey does it, because Huey will go in the bedroom and just like play in there, but Ruby insists on sitting immediately behind me and playing with it. No. Huey's not having it. He's like, I'm going to smell this, but I don't care. Fine. Be that way. Okay. So, yeah, you are making your way through. Why don't you guys all make me survival checks? See how well you know where we're going.
16.
So I rolled an 18. That's 21 total.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Island.
We got you that Low Rollers Club shirt, and now you're out to prove us wrong.
Yeah, that's right. It's not going to last.
And Joel.
6.
Ooh. That's a beefy one. Okay, so you all continue through. It's getting to be nighttime, and I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
I don't need to roll when I heard that. Damn.
Was it a stranger danger warning?
Yeah, very much so.
So I rolled another 18. This is the same die I normally use. So that's a 21.
Wow.
I have
Anybody?
an
So-
11.
So 4 for Highland.
We've got birthday luck.
Oh man, yeah. You've been rolling good tonight, man.
18.
Damn. Yeah. So Becker and Horton, you recognize that you have started to hear a number of creatures moving in the brush near you. And I'd like you all to take a nature check to see if you can identify.
A
Sorry, did you
nature
say
check?
nature?
Yes.
Oh, let's try this guy.
16.
14.
5.
7.
And Christy, you can roll for Neil as well.
Oh, Neil. Neil should be fucking rolling my perception checks because he's probably better than I.
Probably is. He has a +4.
16.
Okay, so everybody who's above a 15, I believe it was Nate, Christy, Neil.
No,
Sorry.
just Neil. Not
Oh,
me.
just Neil and Horton.
Yep.
All right. You
Dream team.
Neil is like really curious as what's going on in the dark. Horton, do you have dark vision?
I do.
Excellent. You see that that something is moving in the dark, but you cannot see it. It is large, and you don't. You can't kind of get a good beat on it because as soon as you start to kind of like narrow in on kind of what's moving around it, you kind of catch it out of the corner of your eye elsewhere, and it seems to be kind of moving magically, and you see this disturbance shift and pass through the wood to a different place. Sometimes it almost seems like it's jumping from place to place, and other times you kind of hear the rustling moving throughout, and it goes through. Christy, you are experiencing this from Neil's point of view, and so this is like when you kind of see your dog or cat, and they're like looking at something over your shoulder, and you're like, "What are you looking at?" And you turn around, and there's nothing there, and it like kind of shifts and like moves, and it's looking at something, and it is imperceivable to you, but you can tell that it's looking at something, and you don't know what it is.
Ghost senses.
Ghost senses.
You know what? I've heard that there might be some Bigfoot or Wendigo, you might know them as, in the forest. I wonder if that's what's going on. I hear things. He kind of spins his head around.
Maybe. Highland will cast dancing lights, like 4 little dancing globes.
Okay.
And wait, maybe I can help you. Warden.
Hello? No response.
No response.
Mm-hmm. Worth a shot.
Horton, who else is close? Is anybody else close to Horton?
I think
Yeah.
Highland probably moved up toward Horton to see if he could help by putting the light wherever what he
Gotcha.
noticed was.
Oh, before this happens, point of order. Did we have like any sort of rest or anything between the last fight and
We have not.
no?
No rest.
Oh, all right. Carry on.
We all headed out in a hurry and a scurry.
But our leisurely pace to this point doesn't count as like a rest.
No, it does not.
No, worth a shot.
Were you completely immobile for at least 1 hour in a restful state?
Maybe.
How about this? How about this, Nate? Why don't you roll me a birthday roll at advantage percentages, and we'll see if you got one.
All right. I was gonna say floating disc lasts for like 10. No, it's 10 minutes. It doesn't work. Where are my percentages? Here we are. Oh, 82.
Excellent. No, you did not get arrested. Okay. Horton, Becker, Highland, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
19.
16.
And Highland?
8 piece digital dice. 7. It's actually a natural 1.
Oh, okay.
Rolling D&D Beyond dice, are you?
I know, it's terrible, man. They've been. The animation is so slow too. It's like you just see it happening for a really long time, and then you're like 20, and then it's like boop 2. Oh shit!
And then it just keeps it on the screen until you clear it to mock you.
Maybe D&D will fix that now that they own D&D Beyond.
It's not bad.
I mean,
Okay, so
say.
Highland, I need you to take. So as you are kind of walking through, there is a ball of black liquid that comes flying at you incredibly expediently and explodes into a cloud of black mist that bathes the three of you. Horton and Becker, I need you to take 16 cold damage. Highland, you're taking 32 cold damage.
All right,
Holy shit!
So you rolled twice the health I had, and then even saving taking 16 just knocks me out.
Also, your dancing lights are dispelled.
Makes sense.
Becker is going to.
Is it like dark, or is it just sort of? Is it still sort of dusky? Like what?
It is, yeah. So it's not. You can still see through it, but it is a kind of. It is a like frigid, damp, black mist that like pervades you. It's like when you get that like cold mist off of the sea. Like it is, it chills you to the bone.
Becker is going to cast Continual Flame on one of his hammers.
Okay.
So we at least have some perpetual light.
Okay. All right. You cast Continual Flame and it lights up the area, but you do not see anything illuminated from your Continual Flame on your burning hammer, which is so delightfully wrestling oriented.
Highland's going to cast Healing Word on Horton.
Okay.
It's
as Horton fell to the ground, he was like, "I shouldn't have said hello."
It's 5 hit points back there. Horton.
Sweet. All right, so now Horton's just laying on the ground, but not dead or dying.
Yay!
Is the mist hanging around, or did it dissipate?
It's hanging, but you don't find it to be like it's not impeding your movement.
Okay, but like it's
that answer. Sorry.
Well, I'm asking if it's a consistent, like if it's sticking around. I don't, if I can see or not is less.
Like, is it a fog?
Whether or
Is
not
it a vapor?
is this like
what?
It's a cloud that kind of hangs, and it's slowly kind of fading to the ground. Yeah, sorry.
Highland is going to move himself and Horton out of the area that the cloud is in. He'll stay on the road.
Yeah, it's only about a 20-foot radius, so you, with your movement, you can totally do that.
Okay, yeah, he'll move himself and Horton out of the way.
Okay. All right. Why don't we roll initiative? Why not? Why not?
Okay.
17.
17? Okay, hold on. Let Let me.
I have a 12.
18. Let me get this. Okay, so 18 is Horton. 17 is Becker. 12 for Fern and Highland.
7.
7 for Highland. And we are at only 6 for sweet boy. We'll call him sweet boy. There we go. Wendigo. Perfect. That's that.
Fucking Wendigos.
There we go. I love that when there was one set of footprints, it was when Highland was carrying Horton. The Drakewind gang moves in single file to disguise their numbers. All right. So we'll start with you, Horton. You are unconscious. Make me a death save.
No, I'm healed 6 points.
Oh,
5
okay.
points.
Make me a poop your pants save. Howlins don't wear pants, you silly goose.
No, they don't.
What are you doing?
I have robes. But I did roll 4, so there's a little pellet that came out. Do I see anything at all?
You don't. No.
I don't like it. Mage armor.
Excellent.
Yeah. And that is going to be my turn for now. I'm just going to kind of keep my head on a swivel.
All right. Excellent. Becker, you're up.
I am going to move myself to be like shielding where Highland and Horton moved to.
Okay.
From the direction of whatever the attack was.
Okay.
Am I able to see anything out there?
You can make me a perception check.
Okay.
I'll let you do that as a bonus action.
19.
You see, similar to Horton, you see movement. You don't see a figure, but you definitely kind of hear and see where the disturbance is coming from. It's moving incredibly quick, and it is incredibly large.
Is it within 60 feet?
Yes, it is within 60 feet.
Then I'm going to try to hit it with Sacred Flame.
Okay, excellent.
So it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant.
16.
And that is against 14, so it would pass. Terrific.
Okay. All right, so what is it going to take?
Oh no, the save DC is 14. You said you rolled a 16, right?
Does it not take half? Oh, it's cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So your sacred flame kind of bursts out into the darkness of the Mercy of Wood, and you hear a voice come from kind of deep in the darkness that says, "Your kind should not have returned here." Fern, it's your turn.
Rude. Is this Wendigo guy in the cloud?
Can you be more specific?
Like, is the cloud surrounding him?
No, the cloud was radiating out from a point in the darkness that was a kind of ball of black liquid that then exploded into a cloud of frigid mist that coated Becker, Horton, and Highland.
We got hit by an evil water balloon, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So is the cloud remaining, or the cloud is gone now entirely?
The cloud is slowly dissipating and kind of going to the ground, but it's not impeding your movement.
Got you. Then.
Oh, are you Horton? You're curious?
That's true.
cast True Strike on that Wendigo.
Okay. How are you doing this?
What do you mean?
How are you shooting at it if you can't see it?
How can't we see? Where is it right now?
It's somewhere running around in the woods.
Oh, it's completely out of sight. I'm sorry. I thought we could see it through the trees. Disregard.
No, they've seen movement in the darkness
Okay.
where there is a creature
you.
moving, but have not been able
I
to
interpreted that
see it.
to like we knew its general location. That's
You do
my
know its
mistake.
general location. That's why I'm asking you. If you
But a
feel
very
like you have a beat on
very general location.
it, but I mean, it's D&D, baby. You tell me what you want to do. Let's do it.
Fuck it. We'll try it. I will try to cast True Strike where I think it is.
All right. Roll me percentages.
Oh boy. Oh, that is a big 13.
Perfect. Cast True Strike. Tell me what you get.
Why are things so slow? D&D Beyond.
Just because you get bot doesn't mean that it's going to be better.
It's true. Okay, that is
Let's roll the test. Roast.
Oh, cool. Now D&D Beyond is just going to freeze 100%. Wonderful. Thank you. Super helpful. Somebody want to give me the text of True Strike? Because I can't find it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'll vlog into D&D Beyond.
One action, cantrip, concentration, up to 1 round.
Okay.
Extend your hand and point a finger at a target in range. And your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target, provided that the spell has not ended.
So do I need to roll for that, or is it just a thing that happens?
It just happens.
It just happens.
Okay. Then it just happens.
All right. So
that's what I wasn't sure of.
Gotcha. You reach out into the dark. Actually, tell me. I mean, Fern, what do you do? What do you use to cast this? Is this part of your sorcerer background?
It is part of my sorcerer background.
Okay, so yeah, tell me what you're drawing on. What is Fern kind of feeling in response to this? How is she kind of using her kind of sorcery to kind of tap into this creature?
I mean, I know it's there, or at least I think I know where it is. And because I have spent a lot of time sorcering in the woods, I probably have like a good insight into like the flora and fauna.
Okay.
Both natural and otherworldly. Sorcerers are sorcerers, Jesus Christ. Are Wendigos technically fae creatures in D&D?
I don't know.
They're not in 5e, technically, I don't.
I'm like, is this even a Wendigo? Do we know that for sure?
We totally
We
don't.
don't know that.
That's true.
I like it. You're like, but what kind of Wendigo is it? Can you tell me when Wendigo? How about this?
I feel like they might be in Unearthed Arcana.
When you reach out, you feel the kind of storm surge through you, and
Oh boy.
you can feel the presence of a creature. This is a large creature. And you have a sense as the kind of storm kind of rages through this connection that you have with this creature, that it is immune to cold and vulnerable to fire.
Okie dokie.
That gives you something about its defenses. That seems reasonable.
Sick. Yes, that seems very reasonable.
All right.
And then I get advantage on my first attack against it.
Ryan, if you didn't already have inspiration, you could have it again. It's an NPC named Wayne Digo. So good.
He's just a guy. He's just a guy out for a walk in the
A
forest.
real big dude.
And Shaggy says, "Party on, Garth. Party on, Wayne."
I'm just picturing Fern doing like the Hulk Hogan.
You.
Probably.
That's how I always picture hellish rebuke happening. Like somebody smacks you, and then you're like, amazing. Fuck Hulk Hogan, by the way, but yes. Okay. Back to Highland. Highland, you are. I'm sorry, Fern. Was that your turn? Anything else?
Yes.
Okay. Highland, you have moved
7-minute turn.
the tiny sweet boy outside of the line of attack. And you've seen Fern point her finger into the darkness. Oh, thanks, Rapid Elevate. Me. Yourfollows.com. Where's the bot on that?
Where's Nightbot now?
Where's Nightbot now?
Fucking boots me for using an emoji.
If only it had typed in all
But an
caps.
actual bot, it's like, no, that guy's fine.
It booted you for saying hello once.
It did boot me for saying hello.
Wasn't like a dope.
It fucking really hates me on
whoa.
the channel.
15 messages were deleted by a moderator. Oh, Nightbot timed out Super Spike for 5 seconds. Reason: stop spamming caps. Amazing.
Fucking Nightbot.
I do love Spike immediately was like caps, and the Nightbot was like, oh crap, I gotta do my job. Beep, 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 beep. That's amazing.
But then instead of booting somebody else, booted Spike.
Thanks, Spike, for everything.
Okay. We should start an I've been booted by Nightbot club.
That's got to be the first. All the other cool Drakewind shirts, fuck them. Booted by Nightbot. That's it. With the Drakewind Falls logo. Hey, Nightbot, let's buy some followers. Yeah. Thank you to the Cool Life crew for hanging out. Love you guys.
God.
All right. Highland.
Yeah. Highland's gonna sort of reconfigure his robe.
Look at our initiatives.
And then he's gonna in the direction where Fern is pointing and where the voice came from. And sorry, the first member, the voice said like you shouldn't have returned or something like that.
Said your kind.
What did
have returned here?
Okay. Highland is going to cast Calm Emotions in the area of the unfriendly voice. And so what happens is his mug sort of like duplicates, and this, sort of warm spectral bug floats its way over in the direction, and our friend here needs to make a charisma saving throw, DC 15.
19.
Well, and it just kind of poofs. I mean, it'll hang out. It'll be like, hey, if you want to hug something for a little bit, you can have it. It's not real though. Maybe that'll make you sad. But okay, good talk. And then Highland will. Anything else on Highland? Nope, he is good. He'll allow Becker to continually stand in a protective fashion and call that his turn.
Beautiful. All right. So you you hear a voice kind of polar opposite of where you were looking from where Fern kind of cast, and you kind of hear this kind of low rumbling voice again that says, "Do not pass through my woods and assume that you will be able to usurp those who have usurped what is yours." And I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw again.
All of us?
All four of you can do it this time.
Well,
Oh no.
Nat 20 for a 26.
Oh,
I got a 19.
oh shit!
15.
Highland?
I got a rock.
Oh, I can't hear you, Highland. I'm sorry, my friend.
Oh,
Oh, I can hear you now. Oh, maybe not.
bullshit.
I heard bullshit.
23.
Oh shit! All right, everybody saved. So you are going to take. Oh,
Good job, team.
Yeah, Horton's done. She's
One,
going to
four.
preempt you with that.
Holy
Wait, unless
God.
it's 4 points.
Horton.
No,
We
it's
just
not.
got you back up, buddy.
It's half of. Oh Jesus. 52, 50.
Thank
It's
you all
half
for
of-
joining Drakewind Falls.
It's half of 58. So 29 cold
If you
Okay.
saved,
if you saved.
Highland is down.
I'm also down. I had
Well-
29 hit points.
Welcome to Nate's birthday TPK.
Is everybody down?
I'm still on my feet, and I'm going to use Second Wind
Okay.
to get 10 hit points back, maybe.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah,
Or 6. I guess 6.
that's fair.
Also great. Halfway there.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck you, Wendigo.
Spike, go for the arms or something. There are always arms.
Okay.
Okay, so we are back to Horton. Horton, make me a death saving throw.
That's right. Let's see. I've been
I thought
rolling
you
well
were
so
making
far.
death saving throws.
Give me that nat 20, baby.
Are you rolling or are we rolling?
I thought you were
Oh,
rolling
yeah,
death
I am
saving
rolling.
throws.
I am.
That was like your thing, dude.
All right. Next, Becker.
Becker is going to lower the hammers,
Okay.
take a slightly less defensive stance,
Okay.
and just say, "What are you talking about? We're not here to usurp any usurpers or that which they usurped. We are just passing through, trying to mind our business. It is weird that you think you can own the woods because, you know, land ownership seems like a weird concept because it'll be here after you're gone and we're gone, and I don't know, temporary at best. But I'm not here to dispute ownership.
Sweet Becker, eloquent as always.
Could you just settle down and maybe we talk through whatever your issue is?
Can you just step off for a second? We'll talk
It
this
seems
out.
very unnecessary.
Agreed. I mean, I'm
Becker,
unconscious, but agreed.
Becker, what color is your crystal?
I believe you gave me a black crystal.
Okay. Excellent. Fern, what color is yours?
Blue?
Warrior,
Pink?
what color is yours?
White.
And Horton, what color is yours?
You're muted, Nate.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Yeah. Wasn't mine the black one? Didn't you get the green one, Becker?
No, you got the green one.
Okay.
Deeja's was the green one.
Okay.
Mine is blue because it matches Nico. That's all I know.
Yep. It says green right there in D&D Beyond.
Like I don't even know what kind you're talking about.
All right. Where are we? All right. Fern.
Yay. Oh, that face was concerning.
All right. And Highland. Are you also down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was we have like 29 points of damage after not getting a rest. We're not doing well.
All right. You Becker, you hear movement behind you as you kind of turn to look, and again behind you you hear a voice again in a different kind of direction, and you hear it kind of low and gravelly say, "When you carry it with you, you betray yourself, and I see another betrayer walks with you. No matter how one disguises themselves, I can smell it on them."
Carrie, what?
Horton, death saving throw. And back to Becker.
Carrie, what? What are you talking about? What are we carrying that is so offensive?
Those who would seek to destroy us believe they can control us.
Who's us?
And death saving throw for Fern. Hey, Fern, what's your Constitution saving throw?
My Constitution save
what's
is +5.
Okay, excellent. All right. And 1 for Highland. All right, excellent. And we're back. And let's find out how we're doing here. Oh, no, Joel, you're a lucky boy. Okay. Ooh, Joel, does an 18 hit?
An 18, in fact, would hit.
All right. So I need you to take 17 bludgeoning damage. Out of the darkness, a gigantic tail slaps down upon you.
So as that's happening, spectral dragon wings, luminescent, sprout forth
Ooh.
surrounding all of us.
All right.
And so everybody, momentarily at least,
Mhm.
has +3 to armor class. So
Okay.
it does not hit me.
Okay. All right. So you kind of go to kind of hunker down kind of over Horton, and these spectral dragon wings emerge from the back of your armor. And the kind armor that you have on you, you kind of like the kind of material of that kind of flashes out, and it looks like it kind of encapsulates these wings as you kind of hold down, they kind of sprout forward kind of as an umbrella over you and kind of shield you as this giant tail smashes down kind of out of the darkness. And it curls kind of back up, and you hear this kind of phenomenal roar echo out from the kind of darkness. And you see emerging from the darkness with this tail kind of flapping about behind this large dragon-like creature with black scales and shadowy wings kind of emerges from the darkness, almost just kind of like coming out of the mist, and its red eyes glare bright as coals as it kind of comes almost right up to you and speaks in this deep monotone voice, and it says, "Do not pretend to be one of us." And that is where we will end this episode of Welcome to Drakewind Falls.
What?
You can catch Drakewind Falls every other Saturday here on twitch.tv/KnownWorldUnited. And hey,
Unless we all die.
after every Drakewind Falls episodes, we go behind the falls to hear a little bit more from our players and your Drake Warden about what's going on. So we'll be back after these commercial messages, which aren't really commercial messages. Hi-yo!
Do you feel like a champion? Do you worry that you don't look like a champion? Try Enhancement Talent Clothing and Gear at our...
Yeah, okay, all right. That's a wrong show. Cool Live Crew, I had to give you some bean footage just for funsies, but...
Do you feel like a champion?
Always.
We're playing it again! Anyway, this is Behind the Falls, the Drakewind Falls after show. I am James, your Drake Warden, and these are our crew. Yeah, how is it for everybody? How's everybody doing?
Not great. I'd like to blame Spike for the dragon that's probably going to kill me.
Oh, why? Why would you blame? Why?
Well, at 8:41 p.m. Central Time, Super Spike 13 says, "Are you going to have any drakes in your Drakewind Falls?"
I mean, technically, we already had one with Neil. He was just cleverly disguised as a dog.
True.
Yeah.
I'm
Neil's
still blaming Spike. Though.
A dog. I feel like we were doing really fine until we were all unconscious.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Wendy goes, "You're not even in D&D."
Dude, I rolled off my asses. I rolled so without giving up too much. The spell well, I mean, you saw what it was essentially. It's 12d6, and on the first round of 8, I rolled 5 6s that second time I cast.
What
Yeah.
the F?
Oh, wicked.
When
not roll.
Wait, you were rolling on fire for our fucking death saves as well.
I actually, well, I can't tell you, but I rolled some successes and I rolled some failures.
Becker was at half health at the beginning of our session.
As was Fern. Like, I got some more hit points, but we didn't get a rest, so...
Yep. That last hit that wiped everybody out, had me down at 1.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, okay, and 6. All right, take it.
That's
Hope
one
for
of
the
the things,
best.
that's kind of one of the things I love about doing this after show is like getting to hear just how close people were or what happened, because like that's unbelievable. I honestly, like, that first time I rolled, I think that the average for a D12 is like 42. So like I rolled 10 under average the first time, and then I rolled like 14 over average the second time. So
Yeah. If I had made that first con save, Highland would still be up.
yeah,
I blame D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
I do too.
Fuck this
I've been
dude.
there for this.
I mean, it's the worst.
It's the
Worst.
worst.
I mean,
The
the
only thing
rolling
that
is the
rolls worse
worst.
than D&D Beyond is me, so...
And Nate. Low Rollers
And
Club,
Nate.
baby. Happy birthday
True.
to Nate. You were born on this date. You roll super great, except for when we play D&D.
Tonight I rolled pretty well.
You
What a
rolled off
jam.
your ass tonight.
What a jam.
That's
I
I feel-
succeeded.
I feel bad for getting you the shirt, and then you just need some proper motivation, Nate.
That's true.
You're like, I don't
If
wanna be
people
chewed
think
up
you're
wearing
shit,
this
you have
shirt.
a lot of motivation to not be shit anymore.
That is shit. Oh, I should go. Okay. How? I'll show you guys later. I'll show it on the next episode. But I also got myself a little something that I'm pretty happy about for that will play into our future episodes.
Does it say I TPK'd my D&D party?
No, it does not. But that'd have been intense.
I mean, I, for one, am really looking forward to our last session next time.
Yeah.
Frankly, guys, this week has been a month, and we're all dead. A new Fez, a new teacup. I do like that. Like, everybody's like, "What is it?" You are correct, Super Spike. It is a new teacup, and it is beautiful.
There's also a really nice new teacup coming for you at some point for your birthday. It's still
For me?
mystery as to where it went. Yes, your
Nice,
fucking birthday present.
nice.
I
This is great.
ordered
I'll
it,
be able to
and it
celebrate
went-
my 1/4 birthday with it. That's so good.
I ordered it, and it went from like the East Coast to Chicago to California instead of coming here. Then it went back to the East Coast. Then I contacted the Etsy seller, and their shop is closed because they're moving house, and so they're not like doing anything on
Oh,
Etsy, so I
shit.
can't contact them. And I was like,
Oh, I think I know which seller you're buying from. That's exciting.
oh.
Very exciting. Now I feel like
So at some point, you'll have so many fancy teacups. It'll be great.
so it's a takeoff on the Low Rollers Club, but it's like a happy D20 with a little like ring around the outside, and it says, "I'm gonna need some tea before we start this D&D."
Yeah.
It's pretty. I was like, "Oh, that is what I need," and I did. I had some tea here. Anyway, tea party at Beard Cups. Yeah. Super Spike said, "Yeah, I had something come from Tennessee to Mississippi, then go to New Jersey, and then come back to Tennessee." I had something go from
Classic.
Kentucky to where was it? It went from Wisconsin to Kentucky to Minneapolis. All right.
I had a pair of boots go from Ohio to New York to Canada, then
Well-
back to Ohio, then back to the same place in Canada, and then to me. And I was like, someone has paid customs on this twice now, and it's not me, so figure shit out.
I mean, to be fair, those boots were made for walking, so
I mean, they were made for not coming to me in a timely fashion.
true story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe we can go around the horn. Favorite moments, big questions, major concerns, badass roles, or just bad roles.
So many.
Horton, I feel like on top of it being your birthday, you are also in the clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. Or maybe, or should we start with Becker and do clockwise like we did?
Wow.
Ooh. Sheesh.
I can go. Doesn't matter.
Oh, nothing matters. Everything.
It doesn't. I'm gonna die.
Oh, you're not gonna die. I wouldn't kill you on your birthday. I'd kill you the day after your birthday. But
No, you're gonna kill me in 2 weeks.
I mean, you guys. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If we had rested, I would have been okay because I had exactly.
I mean, I
16
think
hit
we all
points.
would have been.
Well, to
More
be
okay
fair,
had we-
Horton, I did offer you percentages on the resting. You just didn't roll well.
But I rolled 82. That's great.
I mean, for percentages,
That's
it's
fair.
pretty decent.
To be fair, I said it 85.
Oh,
Yeah.
So close.
That sounds about
Come
right.
on
I was like,
now.
a solid B sounds good. If you can roll a solid B, that's fine. You
I rolled a B minus. Come on.
know. Joel, beautiful. I love it. Highland, how was your evening? Any questions? Any thoughts? Any concerns? I mean, I shouldn't say any concerns. I feel like everybody has concerns, but
Oh, I has a concern.
Yeah,
it degrees, but it doesn't get rests, Shaggy.
similar concerns as two of my other party members, at least.
All three.
Yeah, bummed that the calm emotions didn't work. That would've been dope.
That would have been dope. It was
Mhm.
it was close. It was close.
Was it
D&D Beyond just shit all over it.
Yeah.
D&D Beyond? Eat shit.
Kiss my ass.
D&D Beyond garbage.
Like every month, it's like, hey, we you have new digital dice to play with on D&D Beyond, and I'm like, yeah,
roll
great.
really shitty for it.
They're like, hey guys, here's some new poison. Enjoy your poison. It's new. It's even more of a bummer.
Not better,
because-
but it is new.
It's even more of a bummer because for Highland, I used the fuzzy pink dice because obviously, and
Right.
I know.
it's like to roll like that poorly on fuzzy pink dice is just it's a bummer. It's like, why would you do this to me?
It is a bummer.
Why would you do
That's like my D20 where the smiley face is the 20 and I just never get to see it because I roll like such shit. And I'm like, why do I even use this
that? That's why. This is why I don't do that. That's right.
Christy.
Yes. I very much enjoyed the saltiness of Neil where I was like, buddy, can you show us where to go? And he was like, bitch, you have this crystal. Figure it out.
My reaction to him is when Huey gets indignant and gives me like a good log. He'll usually go get a toy and then just like sit there and like stare at me like grumpily and like I'll be like, hey buddy, what's up? It's like, dude, like you already got a toy in your mouth. What more do you want from me right now? It's always something. Always something with these.
Good.
This is why we can't have nice things. Thanks, Shaggy.
Very true.
Yeah.
I also feel like I don't remember it. Like I think it's Unearthed Arcana that there's a like weird Wendigo build in. But the reason that I was like so paranoid about the cloud is I'm pretty sure that Wendigos can like use them to like conceal themselves and then do some sort of crazy bullshit. And that might be something I'm completely like importing from a different game, but I think it's in a Wendigo build somewhere that they can like shift it and almost kind of use it to Misty Step. And I was like, oh fuck, like if that's what this is, I'm gonna get rid of that cloud. But the cloud dissipated and it was fine.
Yeah.
But I was very focused there for a minute because I was like, oh, we don't need this fucker being able to like teleport behind us. It's like, no, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was fine.
No Wendy.
I mean, it wasn't fine, but it wasn't that.
This is fine. It was fine in the this is fine state, but not in the like everything's fine state.
Yeah.
And Becker, Yule.
I have the same concerns. I think we have universal concerns.
We're
Was
all on the same page with them, though.
it a Drake or like Dragoon?
I don't know. You're gonna have to watch episode 10 of whatever you're gonna watch tomorrow.
I do find it. Nope, delightful's not the word.
Huh?
The Black Crystal shows up, attacks me, causes damage, generally an a-hole, and then
It told you where to go, though.
And then immediately the Black Dragon, Black Drake, whatever it is, shows up and
Sorry.
is basically follows suit.
Yeah, it kind of whooped on your guys' ass.
Yeah.
It sure did.
More than kind of.
Yeah. It was kind of like, yeah, boy.
No, it's kind of a womp womp womp. womp.
Sad trombone. Womp, 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 womp. Well, I mean, I loved. In general, I love DMing for y'all, but I think that when you are in a state of adversity, it really heightens the experience. And I think that one of the things that's been great and challenging in general is trying to even with y'all at lower levels. And I love that you guys got to level last time. It just felt like a really good kind of second experience, and I felt like that was something that should be rewarded. But even kind of that second time through, it's really difficult when you have 4 players as a DM to create encounters that are going to feel like they're high stakes, because I think that all 4 of you are so clever and so familiar with your builds in a lot of ways that yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Spike, I like my people where the people are supposed to be, and that's how it goes. So I put them all back. But yeah, Joel, I agree. But I, it really, I spend a lot of time thinking about effects. I think Joel asked in our group chat, was the magical darkness something that you always intended, or was that just like a fuck you to the magical or the dark vision conversation we've had before? And a lot of it is just I watch a lot of other live plays and try to read through a lot of different modules to just think about encounters that you, as players, I mean, just there's a ton of experience as well, like hopefully haven't experienced before, because it's really amazing as a DM to be able to catch any of you unawares, which I think is a bit of a rarity, but it's really gratifying to see you all kind of reasoning through how you can react to something that you maybe either haven't encountered before, or like this, where it's kind of like, oh, is this other thing? It's nice when that kind of meta knowledge that I think that we all have to a certain extent, like in Dungeons and Dragons, or just in kind of role-playing games in general, or kind of fantasy, that it like challenges you kind of as role players to react to that in a different fashion. And I hope, I mean, it feels like we've reached a number of those things. I mean, I know outside of kind of like it just being a very difficult encounter, but I hope that the kind of narrative of it has been enjoyable. Here's a drink so you don't get too big for your pauldrons. Spike, that's great. Yeah. Joel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that as players, or if there's been kind of any encounters through these kind of first 9 episodes that really hit, like no pun intended. But like it, I mean, I hope that this is something a little different, because it's. I'm trying to run this unlike some of the things I've run before, in that the kind of uniqueness or the kind of assemblage of some of these encounters is a bit offbeat from what I might normally run. But yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's been great. Just because this is what, our 5th episode?
And this is 9th.
9th? Oh my gosh, that
We're in it, baby.
sailed through. For being a brief time in, we have come really close to death a number of times.
We sure have.
And each time seems to we get closer to the line each time.
Yeah.
But it's been good.
Good.
I mean, definitely.
I mean, the thing is, when you start at 5th level, like, it's very easy for encounters to feel challenging at lower levels. And I think there's a weird, just like as somebody who's also DMs, like there's a weird no man's land between like 5th and 7th or 8th, depending on the classes that you're playing with, where it's hard to make things seem challenging, but not just like whomping on your players.
Yeah.
And make things seem challenging, but not just like the same kind of like, these are your like mid-tier level monsters, and like everybody kind of knows them and knows what their resistances are, and like it's hard to kind of play, like it's hard to DM that kind of shit sometimes too, just because you want to make it challenging, but you don't want your players to get discouraged, and you also want to make it challenging, but not in a way that seems like you're just sort of trying to like level things up and make things harder, and you're like, oh, it's skeletons, but like now one of them is a caster. Like, that sort of shit.
I think that that's one of the nice things about having the world that we play in be so robust, and the fact that like you all have populated, I mean, we all have populated as a collective, is that it allows me to kind of go into different areas of kind of monsters and expansions and books, and try to pull things that aren't necessarily commonplace, but that are kind of tangentially related, or even in the fact that when we did Microscope, we had 3 flora and fauna around, we had a ton of it, and it was so gratifying, kind of from a DM standpoint, because I could draw on either effects from the kind of flora, or other fauna, or kind of related fauna that I felt could be useful kind of in this setting, whether it's like draconic related or kind of other things like that, and either expand upon those, or homebrew some things, or try to kind of create combinations, or draw from like newer books, or kind of tangentially related books that might not necessarily be in a kind of in a kind of prime D&D setting, but maybe it's bringing something in from Eberron, and bringing something in from Schultz, and bringing something in from these different places, or even some of the new Mordenkainen and stuff. Just it's been really nice to have all of this to draw from in a way that's pretty substantial. I mean, after our last campaign, 3.5 years is a long time, and there was some really fun things to draw from that, but it also I felt was fairly not run of the mill, but there was nothing kind of outside of the realm of normalcy to a certain degree for D&D, whereas this, Birthday Boy Nate can probably attest is a bit more in kind of my fantasy wheelhouse, which is very like dragons, high magic, Pendragon, Arthurian. There's a kind of this kind of draconic presence in this world is something that's like really tasty, pun intended, to sink my teeth into, because I think Fizban's Treasury of Dragons is like fucking until Dragon Lance comes out, I think is probably my favorite book that they've published so far, because there's just so much, and you'll I'm sure get to know this character that you've encountered now, but it's just, man, there's so much good fun stuff. Oh, what's up, Robert? Hi-ho. How you doing, man? Cool crew. But yeah, it's really fun to be able to like dig into that, and man, I just being done with classes and just having grading left, it was like kind of fun yesterday as I was like recovering from a second week of finals, to just like sit down with Fizbans a bit and be able to dig in and find some fun things for this evening. Fun for me, at least. I don't know if it's fun for you.
I am low-key sad we didn't meet any moon marmots.
Well, you never know. You aren't out of the Mercy Wood yet.
It's true.
Plus, there's all sorts of fun, like that whole expanse between like the foothills out into the grasslands. There's a ton of other really amazing fauna that exists.
There's some good critters in this game.
And maybe our next round of characters will be able to meet some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like our good friends. Oh, Shaggy, 7 more days till summer break. Summer break. Ugh, I wish that was the thing. But again, right? Microscope was such a pleasure to play through, and there's so many great things. So when Becker Jr. and Horton Jr. and Highland Jr. and Fern Jr. join us next time, well, I guess Becker's still up. So Fern Jr., Highland Jr., Horton Jr. Great.
I have 5 siblings to go through. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. We're fine. Everything's fine. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I mean, there is going to be so much for them all to dig into, and Harlan, Holden, Hayden, Harper, and Hope. They just so much. There's so much in this world, and perhaps Virginia won't be so disappointed in them. But I think maybe with that uplifting note, any last thoughts, any last questions before we go? Anything from the chat, things that folks saw that they have questions about?
Did the chat have any favorite moments?
That's true. I do. This is glad you guys got to level. Here's a Drake, so you don't get too big for your pauldrons. Was like, that's some good stuff. That is some good stuff. Yeah, it was fun. And I agree with Spike, right? That is a nice cliff to hang from. I try to 2 hours is so nice. I think it was tough when we were, running, especially towards the end when we were trying to do kind of big stuff with Tasty Boys and D&D, that kind of like double episode taping. I love this kind of 2 hours plus 2 hours ish plus a bit of behind the falls. It makes good. Warrior's like 2 hours ahead. It's like 8 p.m. and he's like night.
It's
that soothing ass bonsai artwork.
Yeah,
it's very soothing.
Just too zen. It's too
so
zen.
So zen.
And you don't have dark vision, so you can sleep well. It's great.
I think we should make that canon. That everything with dark vision can't sleep.
That's better than the hotel that we stayed in the Pacific Northwest, where there was like an honest to God mounted bear in the room. And I opened the door with the key card, and I was like, "What?"
Wait,
was that a McMenamin's hotel? I bet it was.
What?
Was it a McMenamin's hotel?
I honestly don't remember. I just
Of all
remember
the
being
hotels I can
super
think of.
fucking tired, flying in on a red eye. I like open the key, like stick the key card and open the door. It's like fuck a bear. And it was like up on the hind leg, like the scary bear mount. And I was like, who puts this in a bedroom? Like, no, I don't.
I do.
want that.
Honestly, I'd be like, this is the best hotel room of all time.
Housekeeping, can you remove the bear from my room?
It also had a lamp that was a mounted fish, which was really, really classy.
Well, I mean that.
Right. It was like a mounted salmon, and then it was like around the lamp post, but it was an actual fish.
I kind of like the idea that it was just like a husky version of Ryan going. Rawr,
Probably.
rawr.
I wonder how many people stay in that room and grab the extra blanket and just like put it over.
Put it over.
I mean, I thought about it.
Like, I'm not going to
Exactly.
There's
on
all
that
of these
side of the
bath-sized towels. Hello.
I just made Zach sleep on that side of the bed. I was like, you gotta sleep on that side of the bed. He's like, no, I always sleep on the other side. I was like, you just sleep closer to the bear.
Nothing says classic.
Just in case.
So when that falls on us in the night.
Wait, Shaggy, isn't this coming from somebody who just caught like the largest carp I've ever seen in my life? Was that you? Somebody from like Dave's stream posted a picture of a carp that was like roughly the size of my arm. It was unbelievable. Yeah, dude, that was unbelievable. It's crazy. Anyways, fish.
Coming soon to a lamp near you.
So we will be making an announcement about our next show. I will be doing my last official duties with one of my jobs, which I'm wrapping up here and won't be back until late on the 4th. So we will be taping and either broadcasting on a different night or...
We did that so good last time.
Yeah, we did great. It was so super good. I think maybe we'll just do it live on a different night, but we'll let you know when the next episode is coming up in 2-ish weeks. And then, we'll get our schedule set up for the summer. But we are continuing to ask the questions, whatever happened to the Wardens of Tomorrow here on Drakewind Falls? Has been behind the falls. Biggest carp he's ever got. Shaggy, Super Spike, Robert, Mitch, as always, and for all of my lovely players. Let's go around the horn one time. Tell them where they can find you and tell them what you got coming up. Starting with Birthday Boy Nate.
All right. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at KugelZombie, and you can also find myself, Warrior, and other wonderful people playing a little Down and Outlands next Monday on this very channel.
Whoop, whoop.
Warrior. You can find me at WarriorMN on the socials. In addition to here, you can find me where Nate said you can find me, where I am currently playing Eric, the Cavalier from the D&D cartoon from the 80s. So that's a fun twist.
Did you
he's
see
actually...
What happens when your character dies?
Yep. Well, I had some choices, and I was like, let me pick something real stupid. So I did. He's an Oath of Redemption paladin, though, in that, because they don't have Cavalier anymore. Well, they kind of do. I think it's a fighter option, but yeah, it's like horse stuff, and fuck that. So anyway, he's really fun. So come check him out on, I think, Monday. This Monday? It's Monday.
Should be.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Come check him out. And you can also find me on the FreeForge Discord. If you're interested, you can visit thefreeforge.com, I believe, which has a link. They're at twitch.tv/thefreeforge every Wednesday. They run a super cool original survival horror TTRPG called Stay Alive. To tie it back into here, my NPC character, Operative Taurus, is featuring very prominently right now. So come check it out. It's a really good time, and the chat is super cool. It's a good community. So check that out too if you want to. And if you don't,
you guys just played like Among Us pretty recently too, yeah, as a crew.
Yeah, we just finished a charity event. It was like a week-long charity event benefiting Color of Change. There were a bunch of different activities. There were various actual plays with amazing cast members. B. Dave Walters was one of the GMs. Critical Bard was there. Mackenzie Armas, like just really, really great all across the board. Then we played Among Us. We had a trivia night. There was golf with friends, and ended up raising just over $6,500.
That's awesome.
Color Change, which was dope. So there will be another one. Usually it's in the kind of fallish time, so you can keep an eye out. I'm sure I'll talk about it. But I think last year it was like right after Extra Life. So
Nice.
everyone I knew was like, I'm very tired of giving you money.
We should we should maybe recruit some Freeforge and do a Freeforge like collabo for Extra Life. That'd be super fun.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it's there's a like looking for group channel in there. So yeah, if anyone out there is interested, if you have if you're looking for like cast members for one shot, if you're looking for cast members for a campaign, you can post it up in there with your requirements. There's a little form you fill out, and they fill it pretty quick. So
nice,
absolutely,
very cool. All right, and Christy.
I'm Christy. You can find me on Twitter at Lady Christy. I'm also on Twitch, but I'm literally never on there except for Extra Life. And on Instagram at Lady Christy K. And I will be back here in 2 weeks-ish.
Hello.
Yeah, because all my other games are not streamed right now.
Oh, yeah. And y'all?
I'm Joel. You can find me at Finger Twitchings on Instagram and Twitter and pretty much all the socials. Sometimes I post drawings and paintings.
True story.
I've got a D&D supplement book on Drive Through RPG and Apple Books platform called Party Starters. And
what volume is it, Joel? Which volume is it?
It's volume 1.
Oh, when's volume 2 coming out?
Lord only knows. And then I'll be back here the next time we play this.
I think I just put a tooth mark in my one painted nail. Womp womp. All right. And you can find me, I'm James. You can find me at Huey Beard Walks on Twitter and on Instagram at Up Your Architecture. As always, the Drakewind Falls setting was created using Microscope by Ben Robbins. Check them out. And all of his other games that are derivations on that and some others, lamemage.com, or follow them on Twitter at lamemage. We're here every other Saturday, and we'll be getting our schedule together for this summer, as well as a couple of one-shots that I have been putting together that are also going to be happening during the span of the setting we have created using Microscope, which I haven't told the players about, but surprise! I got some fun things in the works for this summer as we continue to play more games together, which is a huge part of everything here on Known World United. You're going to be in class tomorrow morning. I will not be in class tomorrow morning, but if you check out Prep School with your King Ginger, Mad Matt is going to be back, New Money Matt from Tiny Mang Tuesdays. They're going to be continuing to build out the Hard Times 1987 like dystopian wrestle past future game that they've been putting together. It's been amazing. I got a chance to hop on last week, thanks to Shaggy and Spike and Mitch and everybody else that hopped on. Nate was on for a little bit, a lot of it. I think that they're going to be doing that tomorrow again. I'm going to be helping out the lady friend in Northfield with some house projects. Me and the dogs, they're going to be really helpful. They're super helpful in paying the mortgage and really helpful during house projects. But yeah, also, again, right, warriorfreeforge.com. Check it out. And yes, find Lord Beard, where all great, successful coups are planned. Kula crew. Thanks, everybody, for watching tonight. We had a wonderful time. Come and see us again here in beautiful Drakewind Falls. And be sure to check out all the shows on twitch.tv/knownworldunited. Coming up this Sunday, tomorrow morning at 10, Prep School with King Ginger and New Money Matt. Monday, Down in Outlands with your King Ginger, Warrior, Nate. Happy birthday, Nate. The lovely Cassandra, Social, Not Mediated, and Shannon. And then coming up this week, also Thursday, Bad at Games. What will we be bad at? Well, I don't know. But King and I are usually playing some random game. We might be playing V, which is a vampire clan-based hootie booty. Maybe we'll go suck some blood. I don't know. And then, every other Saturday here at Drakewind Falls. We'll be back for our 10th episode of Drakewind Falls. Time has passed so quickly. But we'll see you back here in about 2 weeks. We'll have an announcement on the socials where you can follow us at Known World Unite or at Drakewind on Twitter. And as always, check us out, facebook.com/knownworldunited. And that's it. However you spell it, however you want to enjoy it, twitch.tv/knownworldunited. This has been Drakewind Falls. I'm the Beard. We will see you next time.